Dear all participants, we are waiting for some more participants. They are in admit room. So please wait for 2 minutes so that we can start. Good evening, everyone. This is Nandini Day here before you in this beautiful summer evening on this online platform. As all we know that due to this pandemic, various seminars are conducted through webinars and they are converted into webinars. We, the mental health professionals, joined together as under one roof, that is the online platforms, to acquire knowledge from expertise and spread those knowledge to the needy ones. First and foremost, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Dr. M.A. Khalid sir, our esteemed guest of honor, invited speakers, and all the past participants for this two-day workshop. During this situation, every person is advised to be calm and patient. But do we really taking those advices? The answer is within you. In this series of webinar, Professional Institute of Business Bangladesh presents 2 days of international workshop on necessity of positive psychological approach to others. This 2 days of workshop aims to realize that one could follow one's dream and not have to sacrifice all the time to reach those dreams. The idea behind this workshop is to put more emphasis on the human potential and not to just not to survive but to thrive. So the knowledge is like happiness. The more you spread, the more you acquire. Without further delay, I would like to welcome Dr. M.A. Khalid sir, who brings a wealth of 38 years of experience. He was awarded PhD in clinical psychology from USA and currently associated with AUST Bangladesh as a senior faculty of MBA EMBA program. He is also an advisory of Gold in Arab. So we are grateful for your presence, sir. Please bless us with your welcome note. Sir, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Nandini, for your kind words and quoted, and everybody. Good afternoon to everyone. I'm really pleased to be here with all of you, honorable person, honorable participants. Firstly, I want to convey my sincere thanks and for the patience and for the dedications to Dr. Ishita Chatterjee, Associate Professor, Applied Psychology, Calcutta University. Dr. Dimpi Mahanto, Founding Head and Faculty of Psychology, Department, Cotton University, Guwahati. Mrs. Poojan Sharma, Clinical Psychologist, Manmohan Medical College and Hospital, Nepal. Dr. Sadhana Jain, Associate Professor, Department of Human Development and Family Empowerment, Delhi University of India, and honored participants for being with us, for your patience. I will explain few outlines on positivity. What is actually, we understand what is the meaning of positivity. It does not enough to understand our mind and soul. Positive psychology, it does not mean is a chapter of psychology only. It will remain on the psychologist and the psychological professionals. It will reflect all of our day-to-day life, working environment, 24 hours for our happiness. Positive psychology does not limit it to the psychology students and psychology professionals. It means a lot to define as positive thoughts, positive beliefs, positive understanding, positive thinking, positive way of talking to others. Positive thoughts will make all of us happy. Happiness is one of the causes of good thing in life and also promotes more happiness. Happiness character strengthens good social relationships, act as a buffer against disappointed and setbacks. Work also matters in terms of making life worth living as long as we are engaged and draw meaning and purpose from it. Money has diminishing returns on our happiness after a certain point, but we can buy some happiness by spending money on other people. The heart matters more than hate, meaning that things like empathy and compassion are just as important as critical thinking. Nearly all good days have three things in common: a sense of autonomy, competence, connection to others. Good life and living style can be taught. Anyway, I will cite some example, 1-2 minutes. I will take time also. I know speakers, resource person, guest of honors are waiting to deliver their valuable speech and resourceful speech. Anyway, I share. We can change our mentality. We can change our talking style pattern. If I say someone, we must think opposite side of the table. What I'm speaking to others, if I'm that person, what I'm talking to others, if I'm that person, sympathy is not now a common to us. As a psychologist, as a professionals, and everybody empathize to the person. So what we speak, we must think before talking to others. What we do what we are actually doing for whom. So I cite example, here I will say perceptions. So in my class, starts at 6 o'clock, just sharp, I start at 6 o'clock. Some students, maybe senior, you know, the MBA professional is somebody, very senior GM or other organizations, they're coming to study MBA for the better job. So what they come at 6:15 and try to enter room. Sir, may I come in, sir? I said, because I was started my class already and busy with the computer work with the student. I said, no. So just he returned and he embraced that what sir behave, it is not fair to behave like that. Same time, another student entered. May I come in, sir? No. Oh, that student perceived that it was not okay that I entered. I bothered the teacher while he was very busy. Man perceived according to his need. So this is our thinking. We have to change our thoughts. We have to change our beliefs. We have to change our speaking style in a passive way. We should not go there. This is not a good word for a psychologist. Even everybody, it would be better if you join here or something like that. So I don't want to say too much time. So I will hand over to Nandini there to speak, to deliver some other resource person. Please, thank you very much. Thank you for joining everybody. Thank you, honored participants, for patience, hearing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We are very grateful for your valuable words, and it means a lot for us. Now, next I would welcome Dr. Ishita Chatterjee, ma'am, Associate Professor of Department of Applied Psychology, Calcutta University, Kolkata, to give her valuable teachings in this webinar. Over to you, ma'am.
And welcome. You can hear me?
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes.
I first of all like to show my gratitude to the organizing committee headed by Professor Khalid, and he is a very positive person, and persons like him is very much indispensable in this negative scenario. So, and today also we have a lot of enlightened speakers with us. I'll be starting my webinar. First of all, I would like to say that in this negative scenario, positive psychology is indispensable. It is very much essential because positive psychology is the force that teaches us how to accumulate the psychological capitals like the happiness, hardiness, then resilience, which is very much necessary for surviving through this present scenario, which has so many negativity, like this COVID-19 has brought along with it a lot of uncertainty, in our life, which brings about lot of negativity, depression, suicidal ideation, etc. And positive psychology is something that helps us to beat away negativity and pass away to positivity. Here, the name of Seligman is very prominent because he was the person who found that a lot of research on negativity has been done, but positivities for positive psychology, few research has been done, and he founded the positive psychology. His PARMA model is very much suitable for this scenario. The PARMA model emphasizes on P for positive energy, E for engagement. Engagement can be cultivating your hobbies or spending time in a fruitful way. Now, employee engagement is also very much practiced in organization, and it has helped to bring about more job satisfaction, less turnover, and more productivity. Then relationship and connectivity is very important. Not only physical connectivity, we speak about mental connectivity. Here I am going to give you examples. Like we had to counsel a lot of people who are in quarantine, so they could not be physically connected, but psychologically we were always beside them. We encouraged them and we helped them, and they could easily spend the time with us through internet and everything. Then we asked them to engage. Some of the quarantine patients and quarantine students did beautiful creative works, which are really beautiful and encouraging. And it did also help them to build resilience. Next comes meaning. Meaning is very much important because it has been taken from Viktor Frankl. If you have meaning in life, you actually have a desire to survive. You actually have the hardiness to face anything that comes. And if you do not find meaning in life, if you do not have any responsibility, you become prone to depression and ultimately to a lot of negative force like suicidal ideation. And through this positive, dimensions, we can ultimately, it can lead to accomplishment. So this PARMA model helps us to look at life with optimism. It allows us to appreciate the present, and positive psychology let us accept and make peace with the past. It helps us to bring and to be more grateful and forgiving. It helps us to look beyond the momentary pleasures and pains of life, and it focuses on enhancing happiness through positive thoughts and emotions. Here, I would like to say, like positive psychology has come from the Western and American Psychological Association, it is quite have a lot of similarity with indigenous way of pranayam or Indian psychology, which also emphasizes on positivity. Only there may be outlook differences, like for this COVID-19, respiratory health is also very essential. So if you can practice these deep breathing exercises by thinking while inhaling that you are inhaling all the positive forces, and while exhaling you are giving out all the negative forces, it helps. it not only helps in enhancing your mental well-being, but it also helps in enhancing your physiological well-being. So in this context also, a positive psychology, which is again linked with indigenous and Indian psychology, is very helpful. Now, in positive psychology, rather than saying that you are a counselor or a therapist, we prefer saying as a coach. So a coach is just a guide who helps us to come out of the negativity, depressions and everything and face this world with positivity. So this is one of the positive psychology. Now, I would like to share a small 10 points positive psychology exercise that is very helpful and will be very much, I think, practical and very easy to follow for all the participants. First point is believe in yourself. Next point is create realistic goals. So don't be unrealistic. Break your goals to mini goals. Now, next point is take deep breaths when you feel nervous or stressed out. Stop being hard on yourself. Start a gratitude journal. That means write down all the trivial things that you are grateful for. Now, focus on positive things you see every day. Like every day in the television, we see a lot of negative things. We must also look at the positive things. Now, COVID has brought about a lot of negativity, but some positivity has also come out. Like in our, country, some of the rehab centers have excelled during this time, because many of the addicts and all, they did not get, because of the lockdown, they did not get the supply of the drugs and alcohol. So they took help of rehabilitation and had become more positive and, become more anti-drug dependent like this. So in a lot of negativity also, some positivity comes out. Then this internet connections have come out and people have become more connected to people at distant with this positive thing during this coronavirus period. Now, next is focus on everything that is positive things you see every day. So if there is a negative, try to make it a sandwich pack. That is some negativity followed by some positivity, again a little negativity like this. Next is develop a personal mantra. That is, I'll do this, I'll practice this, I'll be positive. If failure also comes, I shall take it in an encouraging way like this. Think positive words before you think. Like whenever we have to say something, try to avoid negative objectives. Try to think of positive objectives. Visualize your dreams. Surround yourself with positive people. So this is also essential that you avoid negative people if possible and try to be surrounded with positive people. So these are the 10 main points. Other thing is there are some auxiliary points also. Being more active and busy, spending more time socializing, being more productive at work, being more organized and planned, because this will help. Here I would say planning, organizing help. And I would like to add over here crafting of jobs in a different way. Try to, do a sort that is the negativity, try to transform it to positivity. Try to emphasize more on optimism optimism than learned helplessness, than reducing worries and negative contemplations, fewer expectations but realistic, practicing positive thoughts, getting focused and more mindful, developing and maintaining healthy personality, becoming empathetic, being ourselves, replacing negative thoughts with positive, valuing close relationships, and ensuring happiness. This is very important. So after this, I would like to show you a few screenshots on PPT presentations in screen share, and I will of course send it to the organizers so that participants can get the material from there. So this is what I wanted to say, and now I am going to the slide share, and if anyone has any questions, any queries, can of course ask me, and I am just going to the screen share. And so unmute karo. So you can see there is a lot of matter in it, which I will of course share with the organizing committee so that everyone can get it. See, you can see that how the stress has increased during this time. A lot of new stressors have come out, like a family member being getting coronavirus, then going to quarantine, all this. These are the new stressors that has come out in the present scenario, which were not present before. Now, this is called as the fourth wave of psychology. I have mentioned what positive psychology is. It's about bothered with human strengths as much as it is with weakness, about building best things in life just as we repair the worst, is concerned about making normal people's life happier as with healing pathology. There are skills for being more happy. Then the 3 P's that is shown over here: permanence, pervasiveness, and personalization. how to cope with depression, I have given a model according to this positive psychology, that permanent and universal cause for misfortune is the practice of despair. Spread helplessness through endeavors. Finding temporary causes in the art of hope. Temporary causes with learning helplessness. Then one of the most important part of positive psychology is optimism. So learning optimism, there is so many models of learning optimism. The techniques of learning is given: disputation, evidence, alternatives, implications, usefulness, distraction, distancing, energizing, externalizing. Then transformation from pessimism to optimism. Optimism bias. Flexible optimism, anticipating the best possible outcome in any situation. Then well-being according to PARMA model. Creating happiness. Then great success and growth mindset. So I'm going to share this, as I said, with all of you, and I'm going to send you to this to the organizing committee. Now, if you have any questions or anything, you can ask, or if you want to share your views or anything, you can share your views with me.
All the participants are hereby informed. If you have any queries or questions, you can put it on the chat box so that we can directly ask our guest of honors for answering them. If you have any queries, please drop it in the chat box.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us such a valuable advice that really positive psychology nowadays is very important. It is not only important for normal people or any of the population, and in fact, it is important for us also. The mental health professionals also need some techniques to enhance their positivity. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Now, I next welcome our next guest of honor. I would like to welcome Dr. Dimpy Mahanta, ma'am. She is the founding head and faculty of Department of Psychology, Cotton University, Guwahati, Assam. Please, ma'am, give us some knowledge about the positive psychology so that we can enhance our daily life. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Nandini. A very good evening to one and all present over here, Honorable Chief Guest, the organizers, the guest of honors, and the very valuable participants. In fact, it's my privilege to be a part of this webinar, and I thank Professional Institute of Business for having come up with such a wonderful webinar, and that too on a topic which is of great relevance. And the theme, I found it very interesting. In fact, it is on necessity of positive psychological approach to others. That is the theme. And I would try through my lecture, I had a word with Professor Khalid last night, and sir was telling me you get exactly 20 minutes. So I'll try my best to wrap it up within that time period. So I would touch upon positive psychology, what exactly it is and how it actually emerged. And since we are going through a crisis situation, it's a global crisis. So I will try to relate it with this present scenario so that it becomes more meaningful. And everyone, all the viewers, since many of the viewers are also from non-psychology background, so that you are able to understand, you are able to relate to the nitty-gritties of this particular field, which is, I personally, I would say that I'm very much influenced by this particular approach. And I do try my best to practice in my own day-to-day life. And it has helped me to a great extent. So now when I'm talking about positive psychology, all of us already, Dr. Ishita has very nicely, very elaborately, she had explained, she had touched upon so many, in fact, aspects in such a short duration. Wonderful, Dr. Ishita. I really enjoyed your talk. Now, as Dr. Seligman, he is known as the father of positive psychology. And Seligman grew frustrated with psychology's overly narrow focus on negative. So much attention was paid to mental illness, abnormal psychology, trauma, suffering, and pain. And, and relatively little attention was dedicated to happiness, well-being, exceptionalism, strengths, and flourishing. So positive psychological approach is basically, it aims to shift your attention away from pathology. The core philosophy is basically about building what is strong approach, and that can augment or fix, or augment the fix what is wrong approach of the more traditional psychotherapy, which has just been mentioned by the previous speaker. Now, Peterson in the year 2008 had very nicely defined positive psychology as a scientific study of what makes life worth living. Now, positive psychology is a scientific approach to studying human thoughts, feelings, behavior, with a focus on strengths instead of weaknesses, building the good in life instead of all the time focusing on repairing the bad or the negative, taking the lives of average people up to great instead of focusing only on moving those who are struggling up to the normal. So this is what is a definition which has widely accepted, given by Peterson in the year 2008. So if you ask me to, what is in a nutshell, positive psychology all about? It focuses on positive events and influences in life, including positive experiences like happiness, like joy, inspiration, and love. Positive states and traits like gratitude, resilience, and compassion. Positive institutions, applying positive principles within the entire organizations and institutions. Now we have positive organizational behavior also, POB. So basically it encompasses every aspect, whether you talk about experiences, whether you talk about states and traits, whether you talk about applying it in the context of various institutions. Now, Seligman in the year 1960s and 1970s, he laid the foundation for a psychological theory of learned helplessness. And this theory, which has been backed by decades of research, explains how humans and animals can learn to become helpless and feel they have lost control over what happens to them. Whenever you see that in any kind of circumstance, any kind of situation, you have no control, you lack control, that is the moment when you experience what you call as learned helplessness. Now, as far as, now somehow I can relate this to this present situation or the present crisis of pandemic. we can actually, very well, you can relate it initially when the COVID-19, sometime around March 24th, the lockdown had been announced. And it was a very entirely new situation for all of us. And during that time, many of us did not even know what it is all about. The entire situation was so new. It came up so abruptly, so sudden. There was rumors in social media, there were rumors in, WhatsApps, and it led to a panic-like situation. There was no vaccine, there's no medicine. So everybody experienced some sort of learned helplessness. It led to distress. And as we all know, worrying is okay, but too much of worrying, which makes you dysfunctional, it can lead to anxiety-like situation. And anxiety and depression, again, they go hand in hand. So Seligman also connected this phenomenon of learned helplessness with depression, noting that many people suffering from depression, they feel helpless as well. His work on the subject provided inspiration and ideas and evidence to back up many treatments for depressive symptoms, as well as strategies for preventing depression. So in 1998, when Seligman was, Seligman he was elected the president of American Psychological Association, he jumped at the opportunity to alter the direction of this field from such an influential position. And he tried, he proposed a new subfield of psychology with a focus on what is life-giving rather than life-depleting. So basically, he tried to change the entire shift. He tried to, change the entire focus from life, depleting to life-giving, from negative, focusing on the negative, to focusing on the positive, focusing on, rather than focusing on the weaknesses, focusing on the strength. So now talking about the three routes of to happiness, there are three routes, as as it's known. One is pleasurable life, where focus is on maximizing positive emotions. The second is engaged life, where you live a strengths-based life. And the third is meaningful life, that is marked by purpose and meaning. Now, Dr. Ishita also mentioned about the PERMA model. Very beautifully she has spoken. I also had this thing to, I had this, I had to speak about it. So I will just briefly touch upon it. In order to enhance our own sense of authentic happiness and well-being, all we need to do is to focus on the 5 aspects of PERMA model, which was given by Seligman. As already said, P stands for positive emotions. E is for engagement. R is for positive relationships that you share with people around. Okay. M is for meaningfulness, and A is for accomplishments or achievements. Now, in our lives, there are moments when, we will have successes. There are moments when we will have everything going good for us. But at the same time, there will be moments of adversities. There will be challenges in life. And during those moments, I feel that, keeping your head cool and trying to focus on all these aspects will help us. And in other words, they will act as coping mechanisms or coping strategies to fight with the stress. Now, as far as this present pandemic is concerned, I think that PERMA model is so very applicable. I talk about coping strategies. I talk about cognitive intervention strategies, behavioral intervention strategies, physiological intervention strategies. If you see PERMA model, everything is here. All these are a part of PERMA model. Now, experiencing more positive emotions, do more of the things that make you happy and bring enjoyment into your daily life. Now, next is engagement. Working on upping up your engagement, pursue hobbies that interest you, develop your skills. Look for a job more suited to your passion if necessary. This is what I am telling the people when I'm a part of the National Task Force of Counseling. Now, when I get phone calls, I tell my students also that now you need to take up some time, keep some time in this crisis period of pandemic, keep some time for hobbies, keep some time for things, where you can really work upon your skills. It can be anything. Skill improvement is important. What is it all about? It is all about engagement. PERMA model. Improving the quality of your relationships with others. Work on building more positive and supportive relationships with your friends, family, and significant others. Now, during lockdown, we are asked to maintain social distance. I would prefer to call it as a physical distance. Socially and emotionally, we need to be connected. What are we talking about? We are talking about this PERMA model only. Positive relations. Here, it is very important. This is the time when we need to be connected with our like-minded people, our families, our friends. I carried out a research, I think 3-4 years back, where I tried to study the perceived social support, its relationship with life satisfaction and psychological well-being. And it was found that when the perceived social support is high, psychological well-being is also high. Your life satisfaction is also high. So social support plays a very, very important role in our day-to-day lives. And they act as, you can call it as protective factors also. They can act as coping ways to overcome or to manage stress effectively or distress effectively. Then seeking out meaning. If you don't find through your work, look for it in volunteering opportunities, personal hobbies or leisure activities, or acting as mentors for others. That is also very important. So it is required that we keep some time for volunteering activities as well, for our personal hobbies. So during the pandemic situation also, it is very, very important to keep some time aside for your own personal hobbies and keeping your focus on achieving your goals. Many a time students call me up and they say, ma'am, we are feeling completely demotivated. We don't feel like studying. Exams, we don't know when the exams are happening. We are completely disoriented. What I tell them is that make a to-do list. Make a to-do list, write your points, what all are the things, what all are the goals, short-term, long-term, that you need to achieve. And then every day after you do your task, take it off. I'm giving you all these examples. Why? So that you can relate it with your day-to-day life. So keeping your focus on achieving your goals, when you do that, then automatically you will achieve a sense of well-being. So this is what is PERMA model all about. And this model you can apply in any kind of situation in your life. And coming to another very important point is virtues and character strength. Martin Seligman and his colleagues studied all the major religions and philosophical traditions and found that the same 6 virtues were shared in virtually all cultures across the world. And since these virtues are considered too abstract to be studied scientifically, positive psychology practitioners focus their attention on strength of characters that were created by the virtues. That's where the character strengths come from. Now, any kind of crisis situation, if you talk about the present pandemic also, crisis situation will lead to some kind of value crisis also. We have observed in the society. In the last few months, we have seen in the initial part of the lockdown, what happened? So many, shrewd shopkeepers and businessmen, they were hoarding supplies. They were increasing the prices of PPE kits or sanitizers. They were not available. Black marketing was common, right? We have seen some sort of stigmatization also in the society. It led to erratic behavior. Marginalized sections of the society also suffered. So we've seen all of that. So in such situations, instilling the character strength by the parents in their children, instilling the character strength in ourselves, that's going to go a long way in helping us cope with this present pandemic better. One fine day this pandemic will get over, but people will always remember how we treated each other. Were we empathetic towards each other? Were we compassionate towards each other? Did we practice gratitude towards our COVID warriors? Did we practice gratitude towards us and others? Did we count the blessings that we have in our life? Or were we all the time focusing on the negative and the deficiencies? So quite often I tell my students, do maintain a gratitude journal. Count the blessings in your life. Keep writing it down. And that is going to help you to a great extent. It will help you shift your focus, shift your perspective from deficiency to abundance. And that is what is very important. And I personally feel practicing patience with children at this period of time It's very, very important. Children are a bundle of energy. I keep getting phone calls from young parents also. So we need to be patient with our children at this particular period of pandemic. We need to display the greatest, I would say, character strength, that is humanity. And humanity encompasses all the other virtues. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, as I quite often say. We all are interconnected. We are not islands. And we all are, accountable to each other. So this is the time when we need to practice humanity. We need to be kind to each other. We need to be compassionate. We need to practice all these character strengths, all these things which are given in the domain of positive psychology to fight with this unknown enemy better. Because whenever there is a known enemy and you are going to the war field, you have ammunitions in hand, arms and ammunitions. But when there is an unknown enemy who you cannot see, now you need to build your own immunity. You need to build your own resilience. You need to build your own strength. And how do you do that? Positive psychology will help us here. With these words, thank you so much to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to put across my thoughts on this particular area. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dimpy ma'am, for giving us such a new approach to positive psychology. And I hope these new advices will give us a new view to look forward in our daily life. And thank you for giving us such a great elements. And I will try, and we all will try to inculcate those elements in our daily life for a healthy well-being. Thank you so much, ma'am. If anyone has any questions or queries, they can drop a message in the chat box so that we can direct it to the Dimpy ma'am and she can answer your question.
अब मेरा स्टार्ट हो गया सुन ले
Thank you so much, Dimpy ma'am. Next, our another guest of honor, Dr. Sadhna Jain, Associate Professor in the Department of Human Development and Family Empowerment, University of Delhi. She was conferred with gold medal for her doctoral work. I would like to welcome Dr. Sadhna Jain ma'am to enlighten us with her valuable words. Ma'am, over to you.
Hello everybody. Thank you, Nandini. Respected and learned Professor Mohammad Khalid, my learned resource persons, and my August participants. A very warm good evening to one and all. Indeed, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for giving me the opportunity to talk on a topic which is even more apt in the present colonial situation. The necessity of having positive psychological approach towards others is all the more important in the activities and the experiences we are going through in present times. At times it happens that sometimes the not so positive behavior of the people, like stigma and discrimination, cause immense painful feelings among the among people. Yeah, you are sharing my slide.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing your slide right now so that you can start when you want to.
Yeah, could you please make it full screen?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nandini. So I was saying sometimes the people's behavior, not so positive people's behavior like stigma and discrimination, cause immense pain, and at times it leads people to indulge in wrongful behaviors, and at times at times they have suicidal thoughts also. So it is all the more important that we all should live and live others in peaceful and happier state. So keeping that point in mind, and keeping the fact that people are not all the participants are from psychological background, here I would like to talk about how we can program our subconscious mind for the better living. Next slide, please. A little bit about our mind. What is our mind? Mind is like a software of our physical body. So this is a part which can't be shown to anybody. It gets the information from our sense organs. So basically, our sense organs are its antenna to receive information. Hypothetically, we can divide this into three parts, like conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. As you all know, conscious mind involves those activities which we do or which we perform consciously, like everyday activities we do. These are the part of conscious mind because we are conscious of it. Subconscious mind is basically our silent mind, and it involves activities like which are generally automatic in nature, and it also a seat of our beliefs and our attitudes and many more things. And unconscious mind has generally the memories which are deeply suppressed, and generally these memories are threatening memories or the painful memories which cannot be retrieved unless and until some special technique is used to get know about those memories. Next slide, please. So, how does our mind work? It has been found from the studies our conscious mind governs only 10% of our behavior. Rest of our behavior, almost 90% of our behavior is controlled by our subconscious mind and unconscious mind. Next slide, please. So, pathways to experience. How do we experience? Basically, we experience through our sense organs, and when we experience, we undergo two kinds of communication. One is the interpersonal communication, which we call external communication, the way we communicate to others and the way they respond to us. That makes the part of external communication. The other one is the internal communication or the intra communication, like how we communicate to ourselves, how we talk about a particular experience to ourselves. And this is called the intra communication, and and it affects us immensely. Now, what are the effects of the communication? These internal and external communication creates positive mental state or painful mental states or the negative mental states in our behavior. So basically, and these types of communication creates the feelings of happiness or feelings of success. When we communicate with the other people in a positive manner and people like us, we get the feeling of success through the external world. And when we communicate to ourselves in a positive manner, we get the feelings of love and happiness, joy, and it creates the feelings of happiness inside us. And in this way, it creates a positive feeling. So these are the effects of communication, the way we communicate to ourselves, the way we represent the, like in internal communication, the way we represent the our experience is basically an important feature of the internal communication. Next slide. Neurophysiological state. Now, what is this state? State is basically the sum total of the experience which we are undergoing at any point of time. Basically, we can say we are talking about physical as well as our mental state. Now, what creates the state? State is created by the by our experiences, internal representation of the event, as well as our physiology, the changes we are having in our body because of that experience. For example, like if suppose if I am in a if I am experiencing some kind of fear, then in that case I may experience breathlessness, I may experience palpitation, I may experience there are changes like in my physiological state, I may experience sweating. Similarly, at a mental level, I may feel, oh, how will I cope with this situation? There is no point. How to confront this situation? I think I should escape from this situation. So this is the way we physiology and our internal representation of the event creates the self. And now, how we create this state? Actually, the experience which we are having, basically it is a neutral experience. We only give it a positive or a negative meaning to this experience. How do we represent the experience in our mental world? Our mind uses, we do not represent the experience in an objective manner. Our mind uses some kinds of filters. And what are these filters? These filters are like, we use delete, distort, and generalize. Generally, we do this to the experience. That is why if you ask anybody to write the experience or to describe the experience, they all will describe the experience in a different manner. And the way we represent the experience will develop either the enabling state, this is, we called it a resourceful state, the positive state, of which Dr. Dimpy Mahanta has also talked about, or it may create paralyzing or unresourceful state. We may go into depression, or we may have all sorts of negative feelings which may lead to failure in our endeavors. So this is the role of the state, where if we are in a positive or in an enabling or resourceful state, we can achieve our goals, we can achieve success. And if we are in a paralyzing or unresourceful state, then we may not be able to achieve our goals, and we may not be able to achieve success. So this is the role which is played by the state. I'm sure we all have experienced the happy moments and the where everything went very well, and we were in a very we found everything very easy going, in a free flowing state. And similarly, we have also experienced the state where everything went wrong, we messed up with everything, and we could not perform well. So in that case, why there is a difference? It is only because we were in different state. Like, for example, if a child goes for an examination, the one sometimes some students experience sometimes when they go through the paper, and if they feel that they don't know anything, they go through a paralyzing or unresourceful state, and they are not able to perform up to the mark. While in some cases, when the students have prepared well, and when they go through the paper and question paper, and they find that they can attempt all the questions very well, they time themselves and attempt all the questions, then they are in a enabling and a resourceful state, and they perform their paper in a very well manner. That is why we always say to our students to be in a positive state, so that they can perform well. There should not be any negative stimuli which can hamper their performance. Next slide, please. So, what are the gateways to experience? How we experience the outer world? Basically, we experience our outer world through our senses, the five senses which we all know. Gustation, it is the taste; olfaction, the smell; vision, the sight; audition, hearing; kinesthetic, through the feelings and through the touch. These are the ways in which through which we experience the external stimuli, and we all have a kind of preference for one particular sense organs to be utilized more in comparison to the other sense organs. Next slide. So these are the dimensions in the way we store the experience. Like visual, we store, whether it is when we try to retrieve the information, whether it is in a moving form, have a panoramic view, whether we are in the picture or outside the pictures. These are the some dimensions which help in if we know about these dimensions help people in getting rid of the negative experience, as well as it also help us to implant the positive experience. And we can definitely, and we can help each and every person in experiencing a positive mental state by creating the right kind of state by associating him or her with the right kind of state and disassociating him or her with the unresourceful state. Next, these are for the visual. I am not reading all the points since you have the YouTube link, and you may also get the PowerPoint, so you all can see. Similarly, this is for the visual sense organ, and similarly for the auditory we have, and similarly next kinesthetic for the feeling, temperature, texture, vibration, pressure, all these for the. Could you please share the next slide? Yeah, these are for this dimension. So basically, we store our information using these three senses. We use these three senses primarily. Next. And this is the way this diagram depicts how we create state and how we create behavior, how these sense organs leads to changes the physiology of our body, how the mental representation changes the physiology, and mental representation and physiology both go hand in hand. So they are positively correlated, and through these two we develop a behavior and we manifest that behavior. Next slide. So basically, how can we unlock success? Basically, I would like to mention that the stimulus which we receive through the environment is a neutral stimulus. It does not have any good or bad qualities. It is our previous experiences, our attitudes, our behaviors, our attitudes, our beliefs, and are the past script, the way our parents have behaved with us, the way people have commented about us, and the way we have represented that experiences in our mental frame. So those experiences, if we can plant positive experiences, we can definitely achieve success. So basically, it is our choice how to represent things to ourselves. If we not consciously try to represent things in a positive manner, then we will not get the desired outcome. And continuously and continuously, our life is changing, our life is creating results, our experiences are creating results. So it is all the more important to represent things in a positive manner so that we can be in a more resourceful state consciously. If we won't do that, then we will be in a any other stimulus may create unresourceful state. So it is very important that we should definitely and daily weed out our garden of mind so that we can design the life we want to have. This is what I would like. I wanted to share with everybody. Thank you so much once again for giving me the opportunity to share my views. Thank you, Khalid sir and his team. Over to
thank you.
Nandini.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. As we all know that nowadays communication is very necessary and we are really lacking it. I hope this whole presentation of yours will help everyone to enhance our verbal and non-verbal communication and and how the physiological changes affect our positive behavior. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable knowledge that you shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, not last but not the least, our next guest of honor is Mrs. Poojan Sharma, psychologist, Manmohan Medical College and Hospital, Nepal. I would like to welcome Poojan ma'am in this evening to share her valuable knowledge with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Nandini ji. At the outset, let me express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for the honor I have been given by the Professional Institute of Bangladesh, and special thanks and sincere gratitude to Khalid sir for providing me an opportunity to speak in this program as a guest of honor. It is my expectation that the workshop will assist in generating some ideas and live discussion among the participants that they are influenced to get the knowledge regarding positive psychology. So now I'm going to share my slide. with you all. Is it visible?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
it's okay. Okay.
So this is our topic of necessity of positive psychological approach to others. Is Dr. Risita, Dr. Dimpy, and all other ma'ams have been talking about this. Now I'm going through. First, I would like to put some activities, because in the hospitals when I'm going through visiting my staffs, I used to do such activities, like 3 things in the life that make you happy. Please, all the participants, keep reminding the activities that make you happy. Explain the reason why those things makes you feel better. Keep on imagining it in yourselves. I think everyone's face is in a smile now. This is what the vibes creates to all, and this is what the positive psychology is. Now, positive psychology is the study of condition and process that contribute to flourishing optimal functioning of people, groups, and institutions. There are 5 aspects of positive psychology. That is, it creates optimism. It helps allows us to appreciate our presence, that we are talking in this webinar. We are creating some positive vibes to all the participants, and it affects and make peace with the present. It helps us to be more grateful and forgiving. That the most important thing is modeling forgiveness to everyone, whether it is the child, whether it is the colleague, whether it is the family members or anyone. When we model the habits of forgiving to anyone, then it helps us to look beyond momentary pleasures and pain. So I have gone through some research also and have found this. If you have a friend, relative, or neighbor who lives within a mile and becomes happy, this increases the probability that you will be happy by 25%. When you hear that our parents who are far away, and when you hear that our children are far away, keep smiling, they are enjoying, then we keep on smiling. Research has shown that a toxic coworker, someone who is always negative, gossips about others, and has a poor attitude, can actually be damaging to a workplace, he says. The negativity may lead to an environment where there is less information sharing, more conflict among team members, less trust, and lower performance by all members overall. So the thing is that when there is a negative people, they are talking about the negative thing every day, they are negative. At that time, what we do is to avoid such people in that situations. And everyone has known about the ripple effect, right? What is ripple effect? And in positive psychology, it has very, very much importance of ripple effect. Happiness is not just a personal experience, it is actually affected by the individual around you. Like when we throw a stone in a water, it causes ripples. Our word, actions, and feeling of those around us, who turn in affect individual, who come into contact with them, and so on. So in some ways, our emotional states are like a virus. We can spread the positive and negative experience to those around us, even with the stranger. So main component are the happiness, well-being, and positivity. That the positive mind leads to positive vibe, and positive vibe leads to positive life. And happiness depends upon ourselves. So, Dimpy ma'am and Isita ma'am and Sadhana all have talked about the PERMA model. As you know that when we are going through the positive psychology, we should always keep in our mind of the PERMA model. Yes, in positive emotions, that the thing that is come is that the thing that we have to is the excitement. What is our positive emotion? How excited we are in this webinar. So how satisfaction we are getting from attending the webinar, and the pride amongst others, longer lives, healthier social relationship, that is the positive emotions. So in the engagement, what is that activity that we are engaging in the webinar, we are attending the workshop, and what is that it helps in every situations we can use this PERMA model. The main thing we have to understand this, the relationship is the fueling the positive vibe to the people. If the relationship is toxic, then it creates negative influence on others. So we have to work on building the positive relationship. We have to respect to each others. It's true from the children to the elderly. So positive relationship will help. The meaning is finding meaning in learning. There's something is greater than oneself, that when we learn, everybody have different knowledge, everybody has different perspective of taking the things into their mind. Is Sarna ma'am talk about the mind just now. And accomplishment is that what the success we have been individual, community, and the work, what the success we have given. So the thing we have to consider when you follow, when you give our view on this matter, it will really helps. So in many cases, I have seen in the hospitals with the negative psychological approach leads to loneliness, and that is mental or physical health issues, lack of health, lower life expectancy, in some hallucination also, lack of social skills, narrow-minded thinking, sleep problem, self-harm, substance abuse, high risk of unemployment. So because negative psychological approach will, because when everybody, when we are approaching to others, when I am sad, when I am keep on crying, then the people next to me will, what will happen, they're in their face also, they will keep on crying, they will show their tear in their eyes. So the positive psychology has very important in these things. It emphasis on helping people develop their strength rather than focusing on or punishing themselves for their weakness. It helps in understanding how two aspects of purpose fit together for each person. It helps in focusing in relationship, as it is a significant motivating factor in how people feel about the work they do and the organization where they do that work. All people want to feel valued, not just for their work, but as individual. Because in the work setting, whether it is in the home, whether it is in the family members, whether it is in the community, everybody want to get respect, everybody want to be valued. So if the manager, if the leading persons plays us a role, then there is a positive environment which leads to accomplishment of the task, and there is the growth of the business and happiness among the family members. So making connections and building relations, Rob Gibson's, is not what you know, it's who you know and who they know. Social connections improve physical and mental health and emotional well-being. Because of this COVID-19 situation, though we are in though we are in physical distancing, but not in social isolations, but when we are connecting through the Facebooks, WhatsApp, or any other app, that it helps to know each other, it helps to create the positive vibes, we can share our feelings. So positive relations with others will be happier and more fulfilled, feel more supportive and connectedness. Exactly when we are in a negative relationship, what it leads to? It leads to frustration, it leads to depressing feeling, it leads to helplessness, worthlessness, and people will feel there is no meaning of my life. So suicidal ideations and suicidal thoughts create among the people. So what are the tips for boosting mindful intervention? Exactly the thing why that I used to tell to my patients and to my workers is that practice the mindfulness interventions, because it helps to foster happiness, awareness. Like, what are the activities that we can do in mindfulness intervention? That is sensory awareness activities that you can do, guided meditations that we can do, and the thing is that the breath control and careful observations are the thing that we can do in the mindful intervention. Next is the gratitude exercise. Dimpy ma'am has also talked about it. So in gratitude exercise, practicing like journalizing, self-compliment, sending thank you notes. Yeah, thank you. When we say to thank you to everyone, then it helps to create a sense of pleasure in the mind. And research has shown that it helps to increase the serotonin level on the people. So gratitude exercise is much more helpful. And next is objective assessment. Yeah, when we do there are many skills. which you can, that is happiness scale. We have seen in the hospital, I use authentic happiness inventory, and this happiness scale, positive relation and accomplishment scale. The score of this intervention indicates the happiness level of respondents and indicate how positive intervention impact that. Because when we give the happiness scale to people today, and after 2 weeks, when you give them the mindfulness intervention and gratitude exercise, and after that, when you do the same assessment scale, then we can find a drastic measure. That's true, which I applied in my colleagues, in my staff also in the hospital in these situations, and I have find the positive results. And next is the positive CBT, that is cognitive behavioral therapy. As you know that CBT helps in identifying the strength of the client rather than identifying and addressing manifested problems, that we have emphasizing on the positive aspects of everyone. When we talk about this, it is true, if you are working hard, it's good. If we keep on emphasizing on the positive aspect, and it leads to fruitful result also. When we keep commenting on the negative aspect, giving negative thoughts, giving negative comments, then it leads to negative results. The next is active aging, positive psychological intervention. Yeah, with the aging, what has happened is positive aging gives that is the in many research it has shown that when the people's in their aging, if they are not work in their adolescence and adult period, and if they are not happy with their adult life, then such aging peoples are having depressive feelings, suicidal ideations. So for those who are having their life with a happy in their adult life, they are in the retirement phase and they are positive, then it leads to positive. So in this age group also, what you can do is promoting the identity and the world is gracefully, and intervention, providing them with the gratitude exercise. Like next is mindfulness intervention. The most important thing that we have to focus in this is the mindfulness intervention in this period, so that it helps to create many things among all of us. Because the most important things we have to do then is imagine self technique. This is one, because at first I have put in some own activities, and for that activities we can do, if we have many things that comes in our mind, so to relax our mind, we can do is imagine self technique, which I used to practice every day. So these are the points you can do through it. Imagine yourself in the future, because now we are in the situation of coronavirus, and everyone is what is happening, everyone is feeling. Because in Nepal also, again from tomorrow they are starting strictly lockdown, and some places are also sealed. So in that time, what we can do is imagine self technique, because it helps to imagine our futures, and creating hopes among making one hopeful is the great thing that you can do. So imagine self technique will really helps, and it creates positive vibes among all. So I would like to request all the participants to practice imagine self techniques. It really helps. So these are the things these are the things I have talked about in this necessity of positive psychological approach to others. And many patients, many things what we have found in the hospitals and in our surrounding is that ripple effect. So please, everyone should know that when I am speaking to anyone, if I keep on smiling, if I give my smile, then another person will also have the positive vibe, and they keep on smiling. So instead of the child, when you are angry, when you are stressed, when you are feeling anxious, when you are in anxiety, then it will transfer to your children. So please, because it is transferable, so we should know about this, and we should try to show through our positive vibe to everyone, so that it will lead to a happy, healthier and sound life. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, you can feel free to ask me. Thank you so much.
Well said. Happiness is contagious. Positive mind create positive vibes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your views on happiness. I hope that your positive vibe can create a lot of happiness in our participants. Thank you so much to share your positive vibe with us during the session. Anyone have any queries can drop your message in the chat box so that Poojan ma'am can answer you properly. Thank you so much, all the guests of honors, to share your expectations and everything. And it means a lot. Positive psychology is not just an approach to psychology. It is a way through which we can live our life in a more productive way. Thank you all for listening to us so patiently and calmly. We will again meet you at tomorrow at 5 p.m. With some more invited speakers who can share their feelings, their experience with us. So I would like to, and one more thing I would like to tell you all, it is an information that we have another guest of honor, which Dr. Anjana ma'am, but due to some issues, she was not present today. So her session will be on tomorrow. So we will meet you tomorrow. Till then, good night and have a bright evening ahead. Thank you so much. You can give your feedback after tomorrow's meeting, and the feedback link will be shared in your mail. Thank you so much for the session, and we will meet you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, that's okay. Okay, thank you, Poojan.
Thank you, everyone.
Everybody.
Bye. Take care. Bye. See you.
Thank you. Stay
Thank
safe.
you so much. Namaste. Stay safe.
Namaste. Namaste.
Okay.
Lovely.
Very happy for your very enlightened and valuable speech to everybody. That will help all of us.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
exceptional.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It's beyond my expectation as you delivered today. It's beyond my. It's a very excellent. Especially this is very useful for all of us. Positive psychology. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Honored participant as well for their patience. So, Nandini, you can conclude now if you have anything you want to say to everybody.
Please,
So one thing I want to share with you that 1 minute. One thing I want to share with you.
Sure, sir.
Anybody wants to talk, anybody wants to ask any question to any resource person or speaker, you just put your name and number so that after the webinar they can contact you. After even the webinar, they can contact you. So put your name and the telephone number or mail number as well. Thank you from my side.
And this webinar is live on YouTube. You can go there, you can like the video and subscribe so that